Do you know your tax return due date and penalty? Welcome to all of you. Today I'm going to discuss income tax return due dates and penalty provision. So first we'll look at who must file, who must submit income tax return. Every person as per the Inland Revenue Act definition you can refer to Inland Revenue Act, or I will publish another video, you can refer that video what is mean by person, which include individual, company, partnership, everything. So then every person, as I explained, individual or maybe company, then if they chargeable or liable, if they're liable with income tax, they for the year of assessment they must file. Then when to file? You have 8 months after end of the year of assessment. So 8 months. Then your next question is what is mean by year of assessment. As example, I will discuss here year of assessment 24-25. Then it start from 1st April 2024 and end in 31st March 2025. Usually it's 12-month period, as same as financial years, right? 12 months. Then during this period, whatever the income you earn, you have to prepare, if it is a company, financial statement, and it should be audited. So if it is individual, you need to take your all the income during this particular period and calculate the tax liability and submit the return on or before 30th November 2025. This hope you can do this, because this period is 8 months. You have 8 month period to submit. Then you can anyway, if it is when it's talk about year of assessment 25-26, you can easily convert this one by adding 8 months. Then if it is 25-26 tax year, and then it would be 30th November 2026. Likewise, you can adjust which year you are focusing. Then as per the Inland Revenue Act, you can add another 8 months. Then you can see the due date. In it is consists, then 30th November is the due date for each year. You can adjust accordingly. So most of these days, individual also registered and obtain a TIN. TIN in the sense taxpayer identification number. Most of individual, if they register a vehicle, if they open current account, or if they above 18 years, then so if they own a land, then they might have TIN, because in the all the government authorities nowadays, they are asking to submit their taxpayer identification number. So then in that case, if you are having a TIN, then you are not required to file tax return. But when to submit a tax return is very important. Then you need to check your income. Then you need to register for IIT, individual income tax, right? Tax type registration is required. Once you registered for IIT, individual income tax, then only you will required to submit income tax return. Then you are required to submit income tax return, right? So then how we can determine how to register for IIT, what is the condition to fulfill to register IIT is your income, right? Your assessable income, right? Then what is mean by assessable income? You might have salary, we call it as employment income, then business income, investment income, interest income, right? Investment for interest, rent, everything, right? Then business income, if you are doing a business, and if you are having employment, you will get salary. Then this salary, if you are getting more than 100,000. I'm talking about the year of assessment 24-25, right? So then that particular year 2024 2025, this year, if you are getting monthly more than 100,000, then IIT registration is required, right? Then you can multiply it by 12 and then see annually. If you are getting annually 1.2 million, then the registration is required, right? IIT registration is required, and then you need to submit income tax return. When it's come to 25 26, right, 26, then this threshold increase 150,000. Then monthly, if you are having income, maybe salary, maybe business income, right, assessable business income, maybe profit, not the accounting profit, tax purpose adjusted profit. And if you have interest income more than 150,000, or annually, if you multiply by 12, then if you are getting 1.8 million, then you are required to register for individual income tax IIT registration. Tax type registration is required from this point onward, right? Then if you registered for IIT, then it is required to submit IIT return, individual income tax return, right? It is required to submit IIT return. So hope this is clear. Then let's talk about penalty provision, section 178. So if you file late, then rate of following, either this one or this one, you have to pay. However, maximum cap is 400,000, right? 5% of tax liability and further 1% each month or part. Even 1 day delayed, right, you will get 1% of the tax liability as well. Then 50,000 plus 10,000 each month, even part of the month, right? That doesn't matter. Month or part of the month means even 1 day late count as full month. So let's look at some example I will discuss. As example 1, let's say one person having tax liability for this year 24-25, 2 million. So this person submitted return on 10th February 2026, let's say. Then you can see due date, as you are aware, 30th November. Then if you add 30th December 1 month, and 30th January another month, and they submitted 10th February, then because this is part of the month, even you count as one, right? Then it will end up with 3 months, as they will count as 3 months. Then here the months are 3 months late, then tax liability 2 million as T, and months I will denote as M, and the option A, tax liability 5% of tax liability and further 1% each month or part thereof. Then you will get for 3 months 3%, and then altogether 5 plus 3 8%, and 2 million into 8% is 160. Then you need to consider this one, and O greater of this. Option B says 50,000 plus 10,000 into 3, right, 80,000, right? 3 in the sense 3 month, right? Then A, B. Then greater of these two, if you compare, this is the highest is 160,000, right? But anyway, you can see this is below than 400,000, right? If it is below than 400,000, then you are required to pay the penalty 160,000, right? Then example 2, tax liability for the year 2024 2025 nil. Let's say you don't have liability, right, and submitted return on the same date, then we can count as 3 month, right? So tax liability nil and the month 3 month. Then option A, you will get 0 because you don't have liability ultimately, right? Then option B, 50,000 and 10,000 into 3, then you will get 80,000. So then grade of these two, then the highest one is this, then you are required to pay 80,000 penalty, right? Anyway, it is maximum cap is 400,000, it is below than 400,000, right? And example 3, let's say tax liability 2024 2025 year 10 million, and tax return submitted very late, 30th September 2026, right? It is supposed to be submitted on 30th November 2025, but they have submitted, this person has submitted on 15th September 2026, then 10 months late, right? Even part of the month counts as one, and then altogether 10 month. You can count accordingly. You can post the video and count the 10 month whether it's correct or wrong. And then tax liability 10 million and month 10, then 5% and 1% for each month or part thereof count as 10. Then altogether you will end up with 15%, and tax liability is 10 million. 10 million into 15%, 1.5 million. Option B also you are required to calculate, and you need, in order to get the grade 1, and 50,000 plus 10,000 into 10 and 150,000. And then if you compare the A and B, then the greater one is A, right? However, you are not supposed to pay 1.5 million. The maximum you are required to pay 400,000 as penalty, right? Because you are having the maximum cap. It is benefit for you anyway. So practically, before enforced penalty, you will get red notice from Inland Revenue Department, and if you not comply with red notice, if you disregard those notices, then they will impose penalty as well. Hope this is clear. If you have any questions, you can comment under this video, and then I will answer as I got to know. Then the soon after, if I have available time, then I will notice your comment and then respond accordingly. You can comment any questions and you can give feedback. Then see you in another video. Thank you very much.